All right, good morning everyone. This is Dimitri with Star Moment Photography again with you on this beautiful Thanksgiving morning. And I am currently, I just finished actually doing a little change up in my setup. As you could tell, my lighting's a lot better from my last video. I basically set up my ring light off to my camera left, and to the camera right I've set off the my big Godox strobe with the 28-inch beauty dish. So I just wanted to come to you today with another unboxing video. This time I got another lens that was big on my radar for a long time. I actually used to have this focal length way back when I first started photography, but I basically ended up selling it because I wasn't using it as much when I bought my 85mm prime, and for a while I was okay with that, but then I realized that for this focal, I started missing this focal length in my wedding work, because I realized whenever I would do weddings, I would usually do weddings with a partner who would have this focal length. I'd end up borrowing that focal length, especially for getting ready shots and whatnot. So I just really, I really wanted to recapture that magic that that lens had. Even though it's a jack of all trades, it still had a very great, it had great character. So I went and bought an enhanced version of this lens. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I've got my big box right here, which I bought this lens from Camera Canada, which I highly recommend to anyone that wants to get their gear quickly, because I bought this maybe, I want to say I bought it early last Wednesday, and they said that the projected shipping was not supposed to arrive until November 30th. But I ended up getting this lens in the mail. It was actually Monday I ended up getting this lens. So it's like, oh, this came really quick. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what's in here. And another thing I appreciate about Camera Canada is that they really package their stuff really well. So I don't have any fear of like any damage or anything like that. Okay, so let's see, we got some packaging here. Let's just throw the knife over there so I don't hurt myself. Let's see, got my, what do you call it, receipt. And 1, 2, and da-da-da-da! Alright, so what you've got here, the Canon RF 50mm 1.2 lens. So, and yes, you heard that right, it's a 1.2 aperture, so this means that this is currently now this lens lets in the most amount of light out of all my current lenses that I own. Soon I'll be upgrading my 85mm to the 1.2 version, so then both of those will share this aperture. And from what I hear, Canon might be actually releasing a 35mm 1.2, which will also be on my radar once that becomes available. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside the packaging. Alright, so one thing I just want to appreciate though before we open this is, like, look at the box. Like, this box is a very beautifully designed box. It's sleek, it's elegant, very befitting of the L lens status that we've all come to know and love. So let's go ahead and crack this boy open here. So as usual, we've got the extended warranty right here, which I usually save. I still don't understand why they include instructions for how to use a lens. That's not something that we actually need to learn how to use, but it's whatever. And again, sock pouch, which never use. And then let's see here. Got another protective layer here. We've got foam packaging. And okay, so we're here at the lens hood, which, to be honest, one of the things that sold me on this particular lens was the design of this lens. And I actually really like the pedal design of this lens hood. Like, it's very unique to me. And so, all right. Ooh, this lens actually feels quite heavy. Oh my, this is a lot heavier than I was expecting. For a 50mm prime. I guess I shouldn't have, considering that I've seen the size and weight of it compared to other 50s. But without further ado, here it is, the RF 50mm 1.2. And right off the bat, you can see just how massive this lens is. It is truly a massive beast of a lens. But I can tell it's very well built. It's not, now that I've held it for a couple minutes, it's not quite as heavy as I was expecting, but it's still a good weight. And so let's take a look here at the front element. Look at that beautiful, beautiful front element there, which lets in quite a vast amount of light. So for this particular lens, it does extend while zooming. Well, not extend, but the front element does move while focusing. So I'm going to be putting a filter on for this lens, definitely, because I don't like dust. So I will definitely be putting that there. So I don't have my 24-70 lens to show you the size comparison with this right now, because that's what I'm filming with, but I would say this is just about a little more than half the length of that lens, but it definitely weighs more than the 24-70, which is saying something, considering that the 24-70 is a zoom and this is a prime lens. Now, again, we have the, on this lens, we have this nifty control ring, which now that I've had the chance to use it on the 24-70, like, it's a game changer for me. Like, now I can make all of my changes on just while I'm looking through the viewfinder. I can just flick switches and move dials, and I know exactly what I need to do now. So it's been a game changer for me to be able to use this control ring to set my aperture. And it did take a while. It took me a little bit to get used to doing at first, because I'm really not used to doing that. But, you know, new habits take time to develop. So, well, I'm looking forward to redeveloping that. So with this lens is just a little quick unboxing. I am excited to have this lens. I've got a couple shoots lined up for this weekend, so that it'll be perfect to use this lens and put it through its paces, especially for family sessions. I've especially loved using this lens for family sessions. Back when I did have I used to have the EF 51.8 version, which was a good lens, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the greatest, especially compared to when I started getting more professional lenses like the 85 1.4 or the 70-200 f2.8 and those type of lenses. So that's why I ended up selling that lens. But like I said before, I started missing the focal length, especially during my wedding work. There were times where I needed that wedding work where I needed that lens to be able to just capture the right ambiance and the right mood, because this lens is not too close, but it's also not too far away, so I could still interact with the couple or the groom or the bride as needed. So yeah, guys, so we've come to the end of this video. I'm looking forward to putting out a reaction video to my usage of it, and you can look for that in the next coming weeks. So alright guys, so I will catch you next time.